You know, I don't know. I think either of them is going to be a really tough game. Obviously, we played Virginia early in the year, and they really beat us pretty badly. We beat Hopkins in our first game, but, you know, they've gotten a lot better. That win over Maryland, I guess, last week was big. So it's a toss-up, but, you know, both games you're going to have to play your best to win, so either one.
Pancho, real quick, you came in off of the bench to do a great job in the second half.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun.
Are you like the cleanup guy?
No, you know, you just, as all players are calling and do stuff, and whatever the situation is, you know, all of us are hopefully prepared for it.
All right, we'll see you both on Monday.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Christy Lee. We just saw Marchant miss a golden opportunity to score. Great ball movement for Hopkins, opportunistic, and when they get the good shot, they are not hesitant to take it. Marchant wishes he had that one again.
Uncharacteristic, a little transition opportunity for the Blue Jays. Anytime Dave Marr gets the ball down low and there's a little helter-skelter situation in front of the cage, he's going to find the open man. You look back at that last Hopkins goal, it was Marcus, Marr, Marchant. Those are the three Marr factor that we talked about earlier, straight up the middle of the field.
That's the marvelous part of this team. Hopkins, they've got strength, senior leadership right down the middle. This is Marchant trying to get open for the left hand against Weingrad. Marchant does a nice job with that last time he shot of pulling the stick from his right to his left the defender by about 3 feet, and an easy shot. Good pickoff by Weingrad. Doesn't control. Knight controls. Ball in front. Watch out. Here they come. Berzins over to Watson. Back to Whiteley. Watson had the shot. He was right in front of the goal, but was really out of position to take it.
Virginia had a 3-on-2. Melchioni with the two talented attackmen. That play really triggered by Doug Knight's ability to scoop up the ground ball. He stepped over the midfield line knowing that he had coverage on the near side by Melchioni.
And in lacrosse, you must keep 3 players on each end of the field, 4 on the defensive end because you have the goalie, but he knew he was covered by another player so he could cross that center line.
Syracuse.
Yep, ready to go next year.
Hopkins offside right there on the clearing situation.
And Hopkins now comes back in to play defense against Virginia. Virginia leading by 2. They had a 3-goal lead as they left the first half, and Hopkins scored the first goal of the second half, exactly what they needed to do. Keep it within 3 goals so they can maintain that ball control kind of tempo and have a shot to strike in the 4th quarter. So now we've got a zone again for Hopkins as they let Virginia work the perimeter. Whiteley against Marchant in the back. In this zone, you'll see the short sticks on the back side of it. See the long sticks up top to take away the good shots. Watson to the right hand. Hoig drops it low. Whiteley now rotating up. Melchioni looking for help. Nobody getting open to side. Hoig open for a moment. Good to see. Virginia had trouble this 2 years ago. They seem to handle the zone pretty well now. They've seen so much of it. That check from behind didn't look like it was that vicious. It'll draw a foul and an extra man for Virginia. Christy Lee is looking at a lot of youth at this event, and some of them have their colleges picked out.
Leaf, I tell you what, you never know who you're going to find when you just sit down in the stands. I happened to walk up here and just sit down, and I sat down next to a guy who I find out has a full ride to Syracuse next year.
Right, yep. Next year I'll be playing for the Orangemen.
And what position?
I'm a goalie.
And your name?
Rob Mulligan.
So Rob Mulligan, you're a high school player out of Farmingdale, Long Island, is that correct?
Right, right.
All right, well, congratulations. Are you looking forward to sitting here, well, actually sitting out there playing?
Yeah, hopefully step in and do it next year. Maybe Syracuse to be in the championship game on Monday.
All right, well, who are you going to root for the rest of the day?
Maybe Hopkins.
Maybe Hopkins? All right.
A lot of good friends on Hopkins.
Well, we have a goal, and Leaf's going to take it back upstairs.
Big shot from Hopkins, or from Virginia, that is. They work that ball around in the extra man and do a beautiful job scoring their 8th goal, getting back to a 3-goal lead.
David Curry again, he's got the hat trick. Talked about him as a legitimate outside shooter. Virginia doesn't have many players who can shoot from 14, 15 yards. Curry is one of them. He's got a cannon. Beautiful fundamentals there, beating Marcus away from the stick. That's what we call an offside high shot. Beautiful shot. Curry with 3.
Curry coming from a Division III program. We talked about that. He was at Gettysburg. Thought he wanted to step it up, played a little higher level, and here he is. He had to overcome that mystique of coming from Gettysburg, and maybe Coach Stargett not thinking that he would be one of his big go-to guys, but he certainly has grown into that. 8-5 the score. Watch out. Warner Kruger getting a little bit of a step as he comes in against the defense of Chris Ginter. 3-goal cushion now, and I think that's a swing number for a tempo control team like Hopkins. If you get a team ahead of you by more than 3, you've really got to think about how you're going to handle the ball differently.
Yeah, they start working against themselves that way. I mean, every second you kill is a second you'll need later.
Slide from Virginia, left the man open. It was Warner Kruger, but Sanderson makes a real nice save. And again, it's Knight coming across, getting the possession. Ginter maintained the onside. Watson with one fake, he'll try to get the shot off. He rockets this one. Watson finds rope. Hat trick for him. 9-5, and this is how fast a team like Virginia or Princeton or Syracuse can get it going.
43 goals on the season for Michael Watson, and this is why. This is his spot, about 10 yards off to the goalie's right. Kind of blind to the net there, puts that one offside hip, using Kuzma as a screen. Look at him lean in, he's got great strength, and just lets it go, real quick release. Really didn't look at the cage very much there, but he knows where the cage is.
2 goals.
Virginia's on another run.
They are. 2 goals in 52 seconds. Let's see, I'm sure any more possessions or goals, you'll see Hopkins burn a timeout just to break the momentum. But Clint, when you get that body in front of you, hard to read for the guy in the cage. Marcus really didn't have a chance to get a good read on that shot at all.
No, and a big key there was Sanderson making the easy save at that end. Not only did he make the save, he caught it, which triggered the possession for Virginia.
Here comes Virginia again. Watch out, they've got a little bit of room. Whiteley wants it from the backside. Whiteley pushes up, gets some defensive pressure on the far side. He gets another shot. Okie. And Virginia, again, with a little bit of unsettled situation, not letting the Hopkins defense pack back in and get comfortable. They worked it around, bypassed a man, and found the open shot. I almost feel like you'll certainly see a timeout here. You'll see one soon. Petramala calling it now. Here's the shot.
There's the shot. Look at the accuracy right in the lower corner. Marcus in the split, but Okie lighting it up. Virginia 3 in a row, and Seaman is on the ropes.
10-5, a 5-goal lead. Hopkins calling the timeout. Marcus now trying to settle down his team. He has looked at some shots in the last 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah, and our replays have really shown the accuracy of some of those shots. That last shot by Okie, right in the lower corner. The fans here. Tremendous weekend. Tomorrow we'll actually watch the Division III championship, and then Monday.
And we've talked about that a little bit. I want you to know that that is not a live broadcast like this. You see that on your ESPN2 schedule in June. You can watch that Division III final. It's June 7th on ESPN2 as we see Denahan bring it down. Zeller matching up. It's that matchup we talked about earlier. Zeller had Denahan 1-1, Zeller 1-1. Now Marchant collecting it down low. Marr looking up top, trying to find the Hopkins cutting man, Brad Berzins. And Hopkins certainly needs a big goal here to get back into this thing. 10-5, they've got to score some, Q. They've got a penalty here, so the extra man now will put them in position to get a good shot.
A must-score situation. And again, you see the Virginia defense fouling Tommy Smith with a hold violation. I think if Virginia is to win this game and then play Princeton in the finals, Princeton will really attack the corners, because that's where Hopkins needs to attack right now. Hopkins extra man, look for Evans. He's got 9 out of the 21 extra man goals for Hopkins. Denahan has 5 or 6. Those are the 2 shooters, and Marr, number 13, the quarterback. That's Ed.
Of course, you can't forget Marchant, who's out there, who attracts a lot of attention. I think the fact that Marchant being out there with the ball right now, getting the defensive attention, opens it up a lot for Evans, who starts down low. He starts with the goalie's right low. Evans now with the ball back to Denahan. They're in a little bit of a rotation. Backside to Marr. Tries to get it up top, and Marchant couldn't pick it up. Some pushing and shoving on the center line. Offsides called. Good look there at Brad Hoig. Here comes Hopkins again. That shot just absorbed by Zeller. Best way to protect your goalie, Q, is to just stop it. I guess you like to see that when you're between the pipes, huh? The guy stepping up and taking a shot.
That's one you love to see, but not if you're on the Hopkins sideline with the most important possession of the year.
3-on-1. If they move the ball, backside, Watson looking for rope. He's got it. 11-5. 4 goals for Watson, and it's the transition that's starting to open this game up. Virginia very patient, and when they get their chance, they are sticking it in the goal. That came off of an extra man opportunity, Quint. Really hurts Hopkins here.
They make the defensive stop, and there they are in transition. Brad Hogue, who's done such a fine job, 3-on-2, unselfish play to Watson down below. Nothing you can do about that late, but here it is again. Hogue in the middle to Melchione to Watson. Really the danger of this Virginia team is they go from defense to offense so well. Speed and in total control. You know, they seldom throw the ball out of bounds in those plays. Anytime you get the ball into Watson's stick from 5 yards, you're going to score goals.
Well, I have to mention again that you played against these guys from Team Toyota. You play with the Gates, so at a very high level, you see this transition, and that impressed you as much as anything. The fact that this team in transition is pretty scary. Here they go again. White looking out front. Getting a lot of checks from Aaron Van Horn. Whiteley now settling things down. This is why he is the veteran leader. Getting close. Virginia now moving out front. Oh, that wrap check might have caused Hankey to fly. Didn't do it. Here comes Whiteley again, reloading. Van Horn stalking it. Far side, they try to get a shot off. Inside, watch out, double slide comes from Curry. Curry will get a lot of attention. Again, a shot, and Marcus comes up big. Marcus now looks to control it. Warner Kruger. He gets through Watson. Slide coming. Whiteley can't get him either. Look at Warner Kruger come through 2 and 3 people. Can't leave him alone. Takes that shot, and he finds it. Hip side on the back, and Warner Kruger, just like he did last week, took it all upon himself to make something happen. 11-6, the first goal for Hopkins this half.
Here he is, Kruger, coast to coast, stops, plants, and fires. It's pretty simple. You can see Sanderson guessing low right there. His stick kind of dropped. That's because earlier Kruger shot the ball low and Sanderson made the save. The emotional leader of this Hopkins squad and a warrior, Werner Kruger, playing with a lot of injuries, scoring a big goal, cut the deficit to 5.
Kept him right in it. Beautiful job for him. Important face-off, looking for a little bit of a transition. Watch out, here comes Watson again. Backside, looking for the shot, and a big save by Marcus. He got the transition out very early on there, and Marchant now picks it up, looks for a shot on his own. And the check from Ginter took it wide. One of the best transition people in the Virginia program a few years back was Woody Moore.
Woody Moore is joining us, Team Toyota member. You play with Quint, who's up in our broadcast booth, and we've talked about this earlier in the game with the guys, but you actually had the opportunity to scrimmage UVA. Let's talk about it.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say hi to Quint up in the booth. Second of all, I'd say yes, we did scrimmage UVA, and they gave us a nice run. They're a definite run-and-gun team, and they're going to be tough to beat this tournament in the Final Four.
You wouldn't want to be down by 5 to them, would you?
Oh, definitely not. This is playing right into their hands. You're playing against Hopkins, which is kind of a medium-paced team, but as soon as UVA takes a 5-goal lead, it makes them pick up the pace, which falls right into UVA's hands. So this is definitely UVA's day. And as I see, the score is 11-6, and all the Wahoo fans are happy about this one.
Well, you enjoy the rest of your day, Woody, and I'll tell you, he's a great midfielder, Leaf.
He's a fast one. He gets that transition going, and saying hi to Quint Keswick. They are now teammates on Team Toyota. And I'm sure when you get the outlet pass going, he's one of the guys you look for.
I'll play defense behind Woody Moore any day of the week. As a midfielder, he's probably one of the best in the world right now at one-on-one defense.
Brad Hoyt takes a shot from out front, and Marcus very easily picks it up. When Marcus gets a chance to get a read on the shot, he's pretty tough to beat. They've had transition scores on him to give him that 5-goal cushion. 4 minutes and 45 seconds left in the third. Marchant just barreling in. Draws the double, now they got problems. Backside will be open. Denahan holds it, and Virginia gets back in position.
Nice recovery by the Virginia defense there. Marchant getting some penetration. They had to slide, but they recovered.
Zeller keeping his feet. The big Denahan, he just buries Denahan on that one. That'll be a penalty. Zeller comes off for about a minute.
Zeller played high school football, showing some tackling for him right there.
He did, he just rode over the top of him. Push call.
And I think that's what you got to do. You know, Zeller and Smith are going to take the ball away from you occasionally. Occasionally they're going to get burnt, but they do tend to foul, and that's an area that Hopkins is trying to attack. Virginia has done a nice job on their extra man defense, so really not giving Hopkins many good looks at the cage.
They feel like they're an underrated defense. They feel like they've done a good job. This is a team, if you've watched all our coverage today, you've seen Hubbard for Princeton. You know how good he is. Actually shut down today because he was the focus of the teams that he's playing, but Virginia shut him down when they played him as well. He's the leading scorer on Princeton's team.
Sanderson with a piece of that Danahan shot. Looks like Sanderson's real strong low right now.
Big shot from Danahan, and Sanderson gets the big save. Hopkins right now, coming into this, is 0 for 2 chances. This is their third shot. And watch out, here comes Ginter if he can collect. He's off to the races. Watson goes down, makes Kuzma splint. He has to split these two people far side. Good hit by Hopkins. Van Horn came up and stopped that fast break. Curry. Van Horn's got him off the bench. There's another player, that was Sean Penn, who came out and hammered him from the sideline. Illegal substitution. Quinn, I think he came in, not from the box. That was illegal, I believe, where he came from.
Here it is again. Take a look at Penn dumping Curry from behind. That's why you don't want to clear box side.
I think, I'm going to guess that was an illegal substitution because he didn't come through the box. He came right from the bench and straight over.
Well, the flags did drop. It's either an illegal substitution or a hit from behind. It's a 1 minute, so that's an illegal hit from behind. You got to pull up there at the last second when you see that player turn, and certainly Curry turned, and Penn got him from behind.
Jay Penn making some transitions this year to help the team as you look at Dom Starsia. Penn played with the long stick, defensive midfield. This year they thought he was good enough to go to the short pole and still play a good midfield defense.
Yeah, Penn's a real gritty, hustler type player. I tell you, the day after Hopkins beat Loyola during the regular season, to end the season, the next Sunday, I work out at Hopkins, 12 noon, there's Jay Penn working out. The next day after that Loyola victory. It shows Jay Penn's into playing lacrosse and he loves the spot that he's at.
I think it's more impressive that you were there. Curry working around Knight up to the point. That's David Wren, back to Curry. Knight gets inside a Whiteley, two fakes, the dip and dunk as predicted by Timmy Whiteley. He told Quint yesterday that he was going to the dip and dunk if he got a chance, and that's exactly what that move was. That makes it 12-6.
Real tough to save, and this is a signature move by Timmy Whiteley. The dip and dunk, here it is. Take the chip, put in the nachos, and stick it up top in your mouth. Dip and dunk. Again, the extra man. Perfect execution, leaving Whiteley all alone on the backside. You got to feel for John Marcus right there.
He actually gave him a little initial fake high to really bite on the low fake, and then goes up over the top. 239 points. Whiteley becomes the all-time leader in points on UVA. Time to Virginia now really controlling everything, but they're up to a 6-goal lead, 12-6.
This is where this game can get out of hand because Hopkins does not have the speed to match up one-on-one with Virginia. I don't think anyone does. But you fall behind a couple goals, you got to come out and make things happen, and that's where Virginia is really going to light up the scoreboard.
A lot of tools on the offensive end of the field for them. Kurt Miller now with the ball. Knight working the left-handed side. He gets up very quickly to Melchione. Melchione likes this matchup, but Kruger gets the big check. A procedure call gives the ball back to Hopkins. They didn't whistle in, did they? They did. Kruger picking it up right away. He'll have another shot. Kruger looking for it. And wide right on his shot. Kruger knowing to get the ball right back into it. Whiteley predicted the dip and dunk. Let's talk to Whiteley about his shot.
The old dip and dunk. I think it's one of the best moves in the book because the goalie always has to go for the dip and then you just bring it back up top. I don't like shooting down low because you got legs and feet down there to protect everything.
And especially against Marcus, who likes to go low. So if you bait him there, he's going to have to go down. So you have to have the right situation, right? You don't want to be leveled by the defense. He had a little bit of time there. Great spot to run the dip and dunk. Delayed call against Virginia, and Hopkins takes advantage. Marchant gets goal number 7. They're back to within 5. We've got a lot of time in this game, folks. 1:24 left in the third. Hopkins only 5 back.
Mr. May, Milford Marchant, taking the feed, beating the left-hander Sanderson. Marchant, about 25% shooter. See the aggressive defense by Virginia, really flowing to the ball side. Nice feed to the backside to Marchant. Missed 2 games early this year, Syracuse and Washington College with an ankle injury. Really, I think was hobbled through most of the season. They had high expectations for Marchant this year. They were touting him as a Player of the Year candidate. I don't think that's going to happen.
Both teams start off with some critical injuries, and of course his was one. Marr had back surgery in the offseason. Can you believe that? A little bit of his disc out. He's out there playing lacrosse just months later. So Marr, Marchant, Kruger, they've had some critical injuries. Denahan playing last week with a temperature. Watson now controls the ball against Van Horn. Big juke move up front. He's got space. He's in front, rocket, but Marcus with a beautiful save. I think Marcus knew he wanted that spot. Watson likes to go that far pipe, and Marcus was quick to cover it up.
That's the same shot that Watson scored on earlier. If Michael mixed it up there, I think he had Marcus guessing.
Ginter with a great stick check, cannot get possession. The ball will stay with Hopkins.
The thing about Watson is not the biggest guy, about 5'8", 160, 165 pounds. Was an excellent running back in high school, so you know he's a talented athlete. But when he leans in and he gets his legs going and drops his shoulder, even if you know that right-handed dodge is coming, he's very, very difficult to stop because of his strength.
And very quick, because if you go ahead and push him from one side, he can just wheel right around you. But the attackman for Virginia, 5'8", 5'9", 5'10", so they're not imposing physically, but such tremendous stick skills.
Nice defense by Tommy Smith.
Warding off call on Marr. Marr didn't like it, and I think he's going to get another call.
Actually, Smith de-sticked Marr, and Marr lost it on the official, and it's going to get 2 penalties right here. Little frustration setting in for Hopkins. Tommy Smith with some big-time defense.
Well, Marr putting his team in the hole by getting 2 unsportsmanlikes. We'll see how they score this one as far as how much time he's got to spend off the field, but this is obviously a critical time, 5 goals down.
They called Marr for playing without a stick. Watch this, Tommy Smith de-sticks Marr right there, beautiful check. And Marr, look at his left hand, grabbed Tommy Smith's stick with his left hand and grabbed his own stick with his hand, and now Marr argues the call right there. So that's going to be, I think, a 2-minute violation. Let's let the officials get to the bottom of this one.
He has 2 1-minute penalties, so it's a 2-minute penalty, unreleasable. Look at Tony Seaman, not happy with what happened. Marr has done everything he can to make this game close, and that one comes at a tough time. Not that there's any good time for a 2-minute penalty, but here's Virginia now. 6 on 5, and they've got 10 seconds in the 3rd quarter. If you hold the ball, you will get a clean possession. It can't be in the air. It has to be in your stick at the end of the quarter. You will get possession at the beginning of the next quarter. If it was in the air, you'd have to face it off. They maintain possession. They will start the 4th quarter with a 6 on 5. 3rd quarter ends 12-7.
Shots are about even, ground balls even, face-offs even close, but this game is not even right now. Virginia doing a nice job defensively against Hopkins. Their goalie Sanderson playing big, and Virginia capitalizing. They're shooting the ball very well. They haven't missed the net many times, and they're finishing from 10 yards and in.
We've got a 2-minute penalty here, non-releasable. They try to force it into Knight.